5:30 in the morning, and that's what I get to wake up to. Oh, I'm so tired. It's so worth it. Alright, good morning from near Istiklal, which is the main square next to the main square of Istanbul, Taksim Square. We just got our rental car right over there, and we're actually heading to the city of Bursa, which is one of Turkey's largest cities. So once we get there, we'll be going to an Abkhaz village, and we'll be searching for Abkhaz speakers, and then we'll be heading to another area to take in the beauty of that region. So I guess we can head into the car and go on the way to Bursa. See you there. Alright, we're here on the road between Bursa and Istanbul, heading to Bursa, and I thought it'd be a good place to talk about the history of the Abkhaz people in Turkey. So the Abkhaz actually come from a region called Abkhazia, which is disputed between Georgia and Russia at the current moment. But during the time of the Soviet Union, a lot of them were kicked out of their land because they refused to move. So they were essentially expelled to the region now called Turkey, and they've been living here since. And Turkey itself went through a lot of history where it tried to get rid of foreign languages during the Ottoman times. But while most languages started going away, Abkhaz remained very strong, and they still have a lot of tradition, and there are even villages that are pure Abkhaz to this day. I'm going to be visiting one of these villages right off the Aegean Sea over here, and I'll be trying to figure out if I can hear their language and the story behind it, as always. So let's head across this amazing bridge to Bursa first, and then we'll go to the village and find the Abkhaz speakers of Turkey. Let's go. And so, we were off to the city of Bursa and its wonderful countryside. Fortunately for us, the drive was only around 1 hour long, which meant more time to explore the city and its surroundings. Alright, we just made it to Bursa, one of the largest cities in Turkey, and also home of the gravesite of Osman, the founder of the Ottoman Empire. First impressions of the city is that it's very nice, very clean, and it's very similar to Istanbul. Obviously it's Turkish culture, and it's very Islamic oriented in the architecture, and there's also a lot of modern touches. We're just gonna kind of walk around, figure out what we can find here, and then eventually head to the village. But this is Bursa. It's very beautiful. As soon as I arrived in town, I knew exactly where to go in order to encounter some of the kind local population, Bursa's famous covered bazaar. I just found the Bursa market, so let's see what kind of good things we can find here. I went to the one in Istanbul last week, and it was actually really nice, so should be able to find some nice fruits, nuts, things like that. Buradansınız. Buradan?
Değil.
Değil.
Syria.
Syria?
Yes.
Senin. تتكلم عربي؟
طبعا اتكلم عربي.
بس اللهجة المصري، اللهجة المصري.
اللهجة المصرية. ما شاء الله. مجموعك ساعدة.
ايوه. انا رحت في مصر من اسبوع.
اسبوع كنت في مصر؟
actually امبارح. انا رحت في مصر. How do you say مع السلامة. ايوه. مع السلامة. I said goodbye to the city of Bursa, as I needed to continue on my quest to find the Abkhaz language, and less than an hour later, I arrived in the tiny village of Rüştiye. Alright, we just arrived at the village of Rüştiye, which has a high population of Abkhaz people, so I'm going to try to ask around and see if I can find anyone that speaks this very interesting language, which has a lot of consonants, which makes it very different from many other languages, and it's actually not really related to any other language in the world besides, save a few in the Caucasus region, where I actually went last year. Let's go find somebody and figure out where this language is. Ben film çekiyorum Çerkes hakkında. Abkhaz?
Abkhaz.
Abkhaz. Çok ilginç. Ailesi var burada.
Burası komple köy Abkhaz.
Tam
yeri.
Rüştiye reminds me a lot of the villages in the Georgia and Armenia region. and it's actually a lot of animals here too. I really like these kind of villages where it's just houses and farm and pretty much just the essentials of life. And to be honest, it's actually sometimes really hard to find these villages where these languages are spoken. They're so small and there's not that many people who speak the languages sometimes, so I have to do a lot of research in order to find the villages I'm looking for. But luckily this one wasn't too hard, and it's definitely a beautiful village. Merhaba. Buraya yakın Abkhaz yaşıyor mu?
Efendim?
Çerkez yoksa Abkhaz yaşıyor mu? Yaşıyor. Abkhazsınız. Oh, Abkhaz konuşabilirsiniz. Oh, çok ilginç.
Hoş geldiniz. Siz Şabe.
Abkhaz konuşabilirsiniz.
Ha, Abkhaz.
Evet.
Sen biliyor musun Abkhazca?
Bilmiyorum ama Gürcistan ve Kafkaz geçen yıl orada gittim.
Abkhazya'dan mı geliyorsunuz?
My aunt and my father, they can speak in.
They speak.
Yeah, they speak Abkhaz.
Sen Kafkaz
Ben burada dünyaya
She
geldim.
born here, but babanız mı geldi?
Dede.
Dede.
Dede küçükken geldi.
Grandfather came from the
Yes.
100 sene oldu, 100.
100 years. Sohum.
Ha, Soğum'dan geldi.
Sohum'dan.
Tamam, ha, Soğum'dan.
Oh,
Orada
neden?
Kafkasya'da savaş oldu. Savaştan kaçıp geldiler. Çok küçükken dedem geldi zaten.
İmam Şamil 1859'da Abkhazya'ya gittim. Dedemin doğduğu toprakları gördüm. Bu bölgeden farksız.
Abkhaz kullanıyorsunuz. Like hayatta. Abkhaz dil kullanıyorsunuz.
Kullanıyoruz ama daha çok Türkçe konuşuyoruz.
Daha Türkçe.
Daha çok Türkçe konuşuyoruz. Çocuklar
1960'lı yıllara kadar burada Türkçe bilen azdı. Abkhaz köylerinde Türkçe bilen azdı.
hep Abkhazca konuşuyoruz.
Abkhazca konuşuluyor. Şehirlerde Türkçe konuşuluyor. Biz de onlara intibak etmemiz gerekiyordu. Türkçe konuştu. Alıştık biz de Türkçe'ye. Ailemiz arasında da Türkçeyi bırakmaya başladık.
Okulda like Abkhaz öğreniyorlar. Hayır.
Burada kullanmıyorlar.
Türkçe, sadece Türkçe. Okay.
Abkhaz kültürü çok iyi bir kültür. Yaşarsan çok güzel bir kültür.
Yaparsan da yaşarsın.
Yaparsan ve yaşarsan.
Kaç insanlar burada yaşıyor?
25 hane yaşıyor.
Tanıştığımda memnun oldum. Yes, nice to meet you guys. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Teşekkürler. Görüşürüz. It's really nice to be able to meet up with the whole family, generations of Abkhaz in this village, and I really want to go to Abkhazia now. I went to Georgia and Armenia and Azerbaijan last year, but never had time for Abkhazia, and that's definitely a very interesting place. The Abkhaz language itself is so interesting. I think it has over 50 consonants, and it might be the language with the most consonants in the world, so it's definitely really interesting and beautiful to listen to, and I just can't wait to learn more about the Abkhaz, their culture, and return to the Caucasus region, one of my favorites in the world. To finish off this leg of our journey in Turkey, we decided to take a trip to a region of the world known for its utterly astonishing natural site, Pamukkale. After a long drive, I just made it to the site of Pamukkale, which is one of Turkey's most visited destinations. It's pretty much just water, and it's a natural geological formation that's really beautiful. And it'll definitely be a nice place to end this leg of our Turkish journey. I mean, the Abkhaz language is really beautiful and very unique, and one of my regrets when I visited Georgia this time last year was not visiting Abkhazia, but now that I've experienced that culture, it's definitely gratifying. So let me just show you around the grounds of Pamukkale. We'll end the episode there. came here to Pamukkale, I didn't actually expect it to be one of the most beautiful places I would ever visit. Pamukkale is Turkish for cotton castle, and it's just that it's this cotton like fairy tale land, and it's so out of this world, and it's just one of those places you probably should add to your list because everything about it is just so beautiful. This episode was amazing. I got to learn a lot about Turkey, its natural landmarks, its cities, and of course the Abkhaz people. And Turkey is just such a beautiful place with so many stories. Turkish culture is splendid, the language is beautiful, the people are very hospitable, and just everything about Turkey is amazing.
Bu dil çok güzel. Abkhaz çok güzel. Bence.
Çok güzel.
Apsualık çigebzi yapıyor. Yibzene ve babarını apsualık çigebzi yap. Yüce Alman eti.
Yüce Almanya eti. Ari Bursa top, Ari Inegöl top, Sara Bozuk top. Bu yazı hani aras hayzavet amşkonu bziyor. Hay babavet. Abayram kurzara havet. Almanya'ya okuyavet. Hay babot hakşikiwa saşa da ap saşa da ap. Abayram kurziyavet.
Kurban bahko.
Kurban kopakot. Kurban bahko. Abusta kopakot.
Yemekleri söyle.
Abusta akut şişe ahto. Akut şişe asuzbaz. Hırsıha yemekleri söyle dedi.
Söyleyin. Bayramda şu yemekleri pişiriyoruz falan diyebilirsiniz.
Söyle.